Good evening, I'm Elliot Rodriguez.
And I'm Lauren Pastrana. Just within the last hour, the Broward School Board released a statement saying in part they feel the governor is overreaching his authority. CBS 4's Austin Carter is live for us in Hollywood with more on the state's decision and what one school board member is saying about it. Austin?
Yeah, that's right, Elliot, and the state and the school board here really going head-to-head over this. Now, the State Board of Education says that the district here has willingly violated the rights of parents and has defied the governor's orders.
All we're doing is implementing Florida law, saying that parents can make the decision.
Comply or pay up. That's the warning from the Florida State Board of Education to the Broward County School District over mask mandates.
We really wish the governor would just give us a chance, allow us to do this our way.
But the state is not budging. This order, issued Friday, says the State Board of Education finds the school board of Broward County's noncompliance and knowing failure to follow the law unlawfully denies Broward County parents and legal guardians of their right to make fundamental health and educational decisions for their children by choosing whether their children should be masked in public schools. Broward County School Board Chair Dr. Rosalind Osgood says the district is in compliance and they've done what they've been asked to do.
We have mask options for students that have 501 plans or IEP or medical notes.
The Board of Education giving Broward and Alachua County school districts 48 hours to comply with the state statute and rule on masks. The order stating the Florida Department of Education is directed to begin withholding from state funds on a monthly basis an amount equal to 1/12 of the total annual compensation of the school board as an initial step.
So if we have to suffer a salary loss or whatever, we cannot put people's lives in danger. We can't be pushed into this place of parochial self-interest.
Dr. Osgood says the board has voted to have their counsel explore legal options to challenge the order and will respond within 48 hours. Governor Ron DeSantis said Friday he's standing his ground.
For the federal government to come in and try to overrule parents' rights and force masks on kindergartners, first graders, second graders, that's a massive overreach.
Okay, and we also know that the U.S. Secretary of Education has reached out to the superintendent of Broward Schools this afternoon. He told her that the White House, the president, and his staff fully support the county with their decision over this mask mandate and thanked them for prioritizing student, teacher, and staff safety as well as education. That's the very latest here live in Hollywood. Let's send things back to you in the studio.
Austin, just to be clear, exactly what orders does the state say Broward is defying?
Well, two things, Elliot. The Board of Education said, for one, they have been violating some of the decisions in terms of some things that Governor Ron DeSantis signed into law back in June. These are rights for parents when it comes to students' health and parents being involved in the decision about that student's health, as well as an emergency directive that allows parents the decision to decide if they want their student to opt in or opt out of masks.
Austin Carter live for us in Hollywood this evening. Thank you. Now, after the Education Commissioner ordered Broward County to change its COVID masking policies, State Senator Lauren Book responded to the threats to withhold school board members' salaries. The senator, who represents Hollywood, said, quote, "We look forward to working with the Biden administration to fill the gap and support these courageous leaders and the children they serve. No child's health or education should be compromised over a partisan political disagreement."